Ayo, Jay. Ayo, Jay.
It's heavy.
Ayo, Jay.
God's timing is perfect. Patience has a purpose. Waiting for it's worth it. God's timing is perfect. Patience has a purpose. Waiting for it's worth it.
Right on time when we late to the party. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Right on time when we late to the party. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Right on time when we late to the party animals. Leaps of faith, Geronimo. Check my watch, tick, tick, tock. My God lives outside of those. Please do not limit me. My worth infinity and beyond. This is our Buzz Lightyear right here. Don't tour it out, story, oh no, Whoa, let me breathe. God too cold, stay on freeze. Couldn't buy me with 100 G's. I'm priceless, but he paid the fee. Money can't make that purchase. Patience has a purpose. We just scratching the surface. The wait's gonna be worth it, cuz
God's timing is perfect. Patience has a purpose. Waiting for it's worth it. God's timing is perfect. Patience has a purpose. Waiting for it's worth it.
right on time when we late to the party. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Right on time when we late to the party. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Right on time when we late to the party. Yeah, yeah. Patience has a purpose. Yeah, yeah. Right on time when we late to the party. Yeah, yeah. Has a purpose. Yeah, yeah. Right on time when we late to the. Show up late to the fiesta. God's timing so much better. Blow hotter than some peppers. This beat got me feeling extra. Two-step, no drink. Don't care what you think. Been high, no dang. God's love in my tank. We are not following trends, just following him. Swallowing pride, take off a fence. Guarding my heart with my tumble defense. Y'all think we whack, not hardly. Jokes on you, no hardly. You think we tardy, truth is, we right on time when we late to the party. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Right on time when we late to the party. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Right on time when we late to the party. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Right on time when we late to the party. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Right on time when we late to the.
Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it, now I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late. Seen them down bad, now they tryna hate. Same ones try to hit me for the raise. Got a mill, now they coming with a blaze. Check the numbers, fam, I swear I'm getting paid. I'm a Don just like the Perrier. It's my time when I'm looking at a face. On the low like I'm pushing up the bass. Told him come down and I'll meet him at a gate. Got a check and I bought myself a place. They get some money and they blow it on bait. I don't flex but I'm pushing all the weight. Told them all I swear I got it's what it takes. Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it, now I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah. yeah. And we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On the road, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What is going on, Mafia? We got an amazing show for you tonight as Bitcoin decided to go on a little bit of a moon mission last night. And if you guys remember yesterday, our thumbnail was 57K mega pump incoming, question mark. I didn't think it was going to happen this fast. I'll be honest with you guys. But we did see Bitcoin come up and smash that $57,000 target. As you guys know, we were looking at some very specific things at this level that were likely to suck price up, and we wound up seeing that. I was sitting on the couch, and Mrs. Candles looked at me, and I said, Mrs. Candles, Bitcoin is at $55,000 right now. We're pumping. And then I was like, hang on, it's at 56,000. And then I was like, hang on, it's 56.8. And I was like, I'll be right back. I got to go to the office real quick. And I ran upstairs, and yeah, we are sitting at $57,000, guys. So if you were tuned into last night's live stream, I want to go over that level we were looking at. And we were also live earlier this morning. But on tonight's live stream, guys, what I really want to look at is, could we potentially see a new all-time high before the halving takes place? And if we do, where are we going to be looking up towards? What is that next price target? Once we break that $69,000 all-time high, we're going to be talking about those two top price targets above the previous all-time high in case we do wind up seeing this cycle start to change and we get a new all-time high before that halving comes in. So it's going to be an amazing show, Mafia. So buckle up and get your spacesuits on, because Bitcoin might just rip up to 100K while we're on live. But thank you all for being here. I appreciate every single one of you guys for tuning in. Smash that like button if you have not already. Smash that like button. Every 100 likes we get, you guys will get a spin on the wheel of pain and pleasure. The more likes equals the more spins. The more spins, the more free crypto. We're already giving away a whole bunch of free crypto, as well as 5 Frankie Candles hats. So smash up that like button if you guys want more free crypto. And the next live stream that we get 1,000 likes on, we will be giving away 0.02 Bitcoin, which is funny because maybe you guys want to delay that a little bit while Bitcoin pumps. Well, I guess it doesn't matter as long as you don't sell the Bitcoin. But we will be giving away 0.02 Bitcoin, guys, when we hit 1,000 likes. So smash up that like button. Let's see if we can do it today. We'll see how many people funnel in here. But before we jump into it, guys, let's go ahead and say what is up to the Candle Mafia. I have a feeling Mrs. Candles might have been in the studio here on my workstation, because I feel like maybe this the Frankie Candle studio needs to get lowered just a tiny bit here. There we go. But let's see who we got in here. Shout out to Jay Waffle, what is going on, bro? Shout out to you. He says, I love your TA. I love the fact that you're in here hanging out with the Candle Mafia right now, bro. Thank you for tuning in. We got Crimson Caravan Company, Wayne C. What is going on, guys? We got Bruno CF in the house. Donato Cabrera. What is going on, bro? We got Hannah King, the female. I always say the female Candle Mafia princess. The Candle Mafia princess. I'm confusing her with our female Candle Mafia representative, Jessica. But shout out to Hannah. The princess is here, guys. Drop those tiara emojis if you got them. Shout out out to Rob the Crypto Snob, guys. Show our mods some love in the chat. They make my life so much easier, and I am forever indebted to them. So shout them out and give them some love in the chat. Shout out to Shannon's Ambitious Adventures. What is going on? I know you're busy with adventures, so we do appreciate you tuning in. Shout out to Shannon. Thank you for being here. We got Night Blue in the house, Dave Digital, Wick 589. Shout out to you guys, Hodl Crypto, Self Wealth Crypto. We got everybody in here tonight. Shout out to you guys, JJ Zona, and last but not least, we got Bread Pitt, not to be confused with Brad Pitt. It's Bread Pitt, as in Bagel Pit, as in French baguette pit. It's Bread Pitt. Shout out to you guys. But thank you all for tuning in. And without further ado, guys, we got a lot of nice stuff to look at here on the chart. So let's go ahead and jump on into the price action and see if we can figure out where this thing is going to go next. Now, I don't want to make any promises, guys. It says new all-time highs incoming on the thumbnail. I do not expect that to play out immediately after the stream like our thumbnail did yesterday. Just please be warned. But let's go ahead and jump on into the chart. Let's go. So here we are, guys. Let's see. Bada bing, bada boom. Shout out to the Godfather in the chat. What is going on? If I get 1K in my trading wallet, I'll buy the premium Discord. Hey, shout out to Rodeo Vin. Shout out to you, Vinny. Hey, bro, stick around. Hang out on this channel. Hang out on the live streams. Hang out in the free Discord. And I bet you'll get that trading account to 1K very, very quickly. But we got the black coffee here, guys. I don't want to rep any major corporations here, so I'm acting like there's private information on my order, but you guys already know my name. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump on into the price action here as we had that big move up yesterday. Now, obviously, guys, on yesterday's live stream, we were looking, we were kind of celebrating the fact that we got that rip up to our macro value area high, sitting at $54,467. Which was a magnet that we were expecting price to get sucked up to, and we did wind up getting price to shoot up to that level. And we actually have a bunch of stuff that we were looking at on the morning stream to play out. It literally played out perfectly. Now, I do want to just preface this, guys. We're not right 100% of the time. I'm never going to try to pretend we are. We are wrong. We're right more often than we're wrong. But we've just been absolutely nailing the calls lately. But I want to talk about that local price action we were looking at this morning and why we were expecting one last push to the upside before a potential correction. Because there is a very, very good learning experience in there for the people who are trying to become actual profitable traders. I want to talk to you guys about what we actually saw happen there. But on last night's live stream, we were celebrating the fact that we got that move up to the value area high, which we know acts as a magnet for price. And if you're new to the channel, you guys, or if you're not new to the channel, you will know we look for a price to flip these value area lows into support. We look for the move up to the POC. We do this every day. Get the rejection at the POC as that is key resistance. But eventually and potentially, we are expecting price to creep up towards that value area high. And yesterday, that was kind of the big news was, hey, finally, we wound up getting to that value area high, that macro range. And then that begged the question, what would happen if we wound up getting above that range and getting another move to the upside, which is where we started to look at some very key levels of resistance, which was this purple box right here, the literal levels we looked at last night. And we were saying, hey, if we do wind up breaking above that value area high, we have one very key level above. And there's a decent bit of confluence here. And we talked about the fact that it was a weekly naked point of control. Remember, these points of control do act as a magnet for price. And with that being said, not only was there a weekly naked point of control acting as a magnet sucking price up, but we were also looking at the fact that we were able to flip this macro golden pocket from resistance into support, letting us know that another next likely stop for price to go would be to that next Fibonacci retracement level, which was that 786, sitting right here at $57,681. And simply put, and it wasn't even just that. We had the weekly naked point of control. We had the 786 Fibonacci retracement level, and we also understood that there was likely a lot of liquidity between these two areas, expecting price to suck us up to that level, because once you start stopping out those short positions, that is where you're going to get those extra market buys into the market, giving that extra buy pressure, adding so-called jet fuel or gasoline to the fire, which is that move to the upside, likely getting stopped by that weekly naked point of control / 786 retracement, guys, and you cannot make it up. We literally just, bing bong, right to that level. And we are starting to get snagged up on this level just a little bit. But I really want to talk about this, guys, because this was a very, very technical move. And again, if you watched the live stream last night, you'll know exactly why. I just went over why we were looking for it. But, you know, this is now 2 levels in a row that we're basically, you know, we're trading very technically right now, right? We went right to the value area high. We interacted with that level beautifully. You could see we hopped right on top of the value area high, flipped it to support, and then boom, got that rip up to the 786 weekly naked point of control. And I just want everybody to understand why we were looking for that, right? That way, next time we're in a similar situation, you might be able to spot things on the chart and say, hey, well, I know I have a 786 above. There's a naked point of control up there. I know those act as magnets. I see the liquidity. Maybe that's where we can expect price to go. And then you could find these moves before they happen, just like we do. But beautiful move into this level, guys. And, you know, I was saying this morning. I was talking to the premium Discord last night, just talking about, like, guys, we are within a 20% move of the all-time high. This is super, super exciting. This is like, you know, we started this channel all the way back here, basically right before our first big drop in the bear market. And I believe, what is this, December, maybe even a little later. We started the channel around here. And then, you know, we wound up going into a massive bear market, right? And, you know, when you're down here at these prices, everybody is super, super bearish. Everybody thinks crypto is a scam. Everybody thought that was the last bull market. Everybody's calling for ridiculous price targets, which, by the way, we were warning everybody about at those lows, saying, guys, understand the bears get wrecked just like the bulls get wrecked. In the bull market, the bears will be calling for lower prices until they miss the bottom, and then they wind up buying when price makes a big move to the upside. But, you know, it just, the doom and gloom down here is so ridiculous. It's crazy now that you zoom out and you're like, well, hey, like we are within 20% of the all-time high, guys. 120% pump, and we are at the all-time high. Absolutely ridiculous and super exciting. But the question is, can we make that new all-time high before the halving takes place? And, you know, we talk about this almost every day. This has never happened historically. Typically, let me go ahead and move. Let me go ahead and pull up that cycle chart really quickly so I can load this up and take a look at it with you guys. But let's come on over to the Bitstamp chart. Come on over to the weekly time frame. And again, we are going to be talking about our next major price targets. Now, if you have never seen this chart before, this is simply just my cycle chart where I've marked out all the previous cycles as well as the measurements between the highs and the lows. And we just basically measured all these significant events that have happened in the market. And we, you know, this is something we've shown throughout the life of this channel. And this is part of the reason why we were able to expect the bottom to be coming in here around 15.5, and we were able to figure a bunch of stuff out based off just looking at the cycles mapped out on a chart, right? So as you can see here, we've talked about this before. We have never broken the all-time high before halving ever, right? You see our halving here in 2020. We did not break the high until 200 and something days later, and it basically takes us 200 plus days to break that previous all-time high. But obviously, guys, this cycle is slightly different than any other cycle, being that we have the spot Bitcoin ETF. We have the big money finally entering the market. Crypto has kind of been legitimized, not just Bitcoin, but the ETFs kind of legitimize all of crypto. This is like the biggest thing that we've ever had happen in our space. So, you know, if we are going to see something different happen, it could be this cycle that it happens. Now, I'm not betting the farm on this. I'm not expecting this to happen 100% because, you know, the 4-year cycle is likely to play out until it breaks, right? So it's going to break at some point, in my opinion. You know, as the asset class gains a bigger market cap and matures, it will move differently, right? It'll stabilize. It'll be a little less volatile because that heavy market cap is harder to move. But, you know, are we going to break this all-time high before the halving? Well, to be quite honest with you guys, you know, at least according to my calculations, you know, we are likely to see this halving come in, you know, in April at some point, right? I know we could pull up the actual timer, but we are getting eerily close to this halving. Now, you can see that typically we do wind up getting a pre-halving dump. Now, let me actually pull up the, let me see, because this is kind of, you know, there's always, you know, everybody always has a different number or a different date for when the halving is going to happen. But let's see. Bitcoin halving countdown. All right, so we'll go with the nice hash countdown. So here we go, right? Yeah, so 57 days, 8 hours, 53 minutes, and 40 seconds till the next halving. So let me go ahead. April 25th. So this is actually, let me move this closer to the 25th, which is also eerily close to my birthday. Let me go ahead and move this to the 25th of April. So that is the expected halving, guys. And again, we have never broken that all-time high before the halving before. And then in 2020, we wound up getting our pre-halving dump about 84 days before the halving, right? Now, I'm not expecting this to play out exactly, the same as it did last cycle, but currently, right, we are 57 days away, and this is, there is still time for a dump to happen or to come in here, guys, but the reason why we could potentially look for an all-time high from a chart perspective, from a technical analysis perspective, is the fact that there is not really much in the way of us, right? This is the chart that we were looking at on the live stream earlier today. There is not much in the way of us and that previous all-time high at $69,182, right? Then the last kind of significant key level that we have is this 786 retracement level and a weekly naked point of control where we just rejected and the target that we were looking at on last night's live stream. Now, there are some levels, right? I call them intermediary levels. They're kind of just like they're like less significant levels on the way to a more significant level. And we do have somewhat of a high volume node sitting right here at about $61,161. So technically, if we broke above the 786, this would likely be, the next target I would have and expect some kind of turbulence on. But once you wind up flipping that level to support and we get that bigger move to the upside, the next real significant level, although we do have some naked daily points of control around $65,000, these are not ExoCharts naked points of controls. Typically for my MPOCs, guys, I do like to look at ExoCharts. I'm not going to wait for this to load. They're not even they're not MPOCs from the order flow. What they are points of control from TradingView, which doesn't mean they're invalidated. They are still relevant, but they're just not as strong in my opinion. So for that reason, I don't even really have them marked out because that next real major level is going to be the all-time high at $69,182, right? So maybe we come up, maybe we get snagged on that high volume node right here, and if we pull up the VPVR, you can actually see that high volume node in all of its glory. And when looking at the actual volume, guys, like this is this is why I like the VPVR. It's a nice way to kind of visualize where the volume is at, right, and where that actual resistance is going to be. And again, once we break above the 786, there's really not that much here. But if we zoom in to get a little nuanced, a little more of a nuanced look, you can see there is a little bit of a high volume node here. So when we do break this level, probably going to snag up there. But once you get above that level, the next key target is going to be that previous all-time high. And to be quite honest, guys, if we don't reject that all-time high like crazy, we could be looking for new all-time highs on Bitcoin. Like, last night we were talking to the premium Discord. I'm like, I feel like it's crazy to say this just because we just spent so much time in the bear market, but could we be looking up for new all-time highs? Potentially, right? Now, based off the 4-year cycle, we would be expecting a pre-halving dump. But here's the thing. This is not something that you want to just put, the 4-year cycle always repeats. It's never going to break. And I'm basing all of my moves and, all my chess moves off of that, right? You don't want to do that because if you get that new all-time high, you're not going to be prepared, right? So you have to keep an open mind here. But I am keeping in mind that we've never seen that happen. But also just, being open to the potential possibility of getting that to come in. Now, the real question that everybody wants to know is what are those next top targets? And I'm actually going to pull up the targets in just a second. But first, I want to come down to these lower time frames, and I want to talk about the local price action, and then we'll talk about those next targets. If we put an all-time high in on Bitcoin in 2024, what is that number going to be? What are we going to look back and be like, remember that all-time high we put in before the halving, the first time it ever happened, we hit 100K, right? What is that number? We're going to talk about it in just a second, but real quick, guys, I do want to really quickly talk about what we are seeing happen here on the local price action because we are hitting very significant resistance. You guys know last night I was letting everybody know that I was not in any significant short positions here. I actually was in a scalp short, but I literally was saying, like, I expect this to get stopped out. It's a very risky trade. I don't remember if I talked about it on the stream. I might have just talked about it in the Discord, but I was in a small scalp short here with my stop loss just above this wick, almost expecting price to stop me out. Because of we didn't really have any significant confirmations. We only had local confirmations for a pullback here. The short was actually in profit for a little bit, but then we just wound up ripping right through the level. I stopped out for a very small loss. I shared that with the Discord last night. But simply put, I managed my risk very tightly for the reason of potentially coming up to this next target. And then this was, if we did not take a significant short here, this was going to be the next place that we were looking for a short position. Now, earlier today on my morning live stream, we were actually looking at some very specific things, being on the liquidation heat map. And let me see if I can pop this up real quick. Let me go ahead and pull this. We'll go liquidation heat map. Bada boom. Ooh, baby, the internet is fiery today. Let's get it. Nice and quick. Oh, let's go. Let's go, guys. This is nice and quick. But anyway, let's see. Let's pull up a little bit of a lower time frame here. So what we were doing, guys, is we were actually looking at price, talking about how, hey, if we do wind up coming up, there was a reason why I was actually, we were pulling back. Let me see if I could. 10 a.m. Let's see. Yeah. Let me come down to a lower time frame real quick. Yeah, so we were starting to actually pull back just a little bit here during the live stream this morning, I believe. Yeah, so it was 9:30 to 10 o'clock. So we were kind of bing-bonging around here. But what I was looking for was a potential another little push to the upside. Why was I looking for that move? Well, number one, we were looking for that move because we front-ran that 786 Fibonacci retracement level. And, guys, I literally said this earlier this morning. We front ran, right? Let's go into our replay mode, right? We're looking at the chart, and, for me, let me get rid of this weekly naked point of control really quickly. Let me get rid of this purple box and all this other stuff just to clean up the chart. Why was I looking at this? Because we were looking at these, local levels. We have this nice little area of consolidation, giving us context into where price might go next, a.k.a., reject that value area high, looking to go back down to the value area low. What happened? Came right down to the low. You deviate from the low. Where are you looking to go? Right back to the high. You went right back to the high, and now we are getting accepted back into the range. Or this is in bar replay mode, so this is, old price action. But what were we looking at, right? Well, we were looking at the heat map saying, hey, let's go ahead and pull that up, and I'm actually going to pull up the 1 month chart again. And we were looking above those highs, understanding that we did wind up actually having a little bit of liquidity above those. Hang on, is this not? What is going on here? Bear with me. Maybe we do have to go down to the 7-day. Binance, can we get the Bybit levels? There we go. Bada boom. Okay, so yeah, why does this look so different? Let me come back down to the 1 month. Bear with me, guys. Am I going to have to pull up the actual Discord? Well, anyway, we knew that above these highs, guys, that there were likely a lot of people who were shorting at the top of this wick, right? Now, why is that, right? We just had a major target. A lot of people are going to look to short these highs. However, the fact that we front ran this 786, we were talking about earlier today saying, hey, it's not often that we just front run these 786s and then get big corrections. Oftentimes, you will come up and actually tap these levels and hit them. And we also were looking at the heat map, understanding that there was liquidity sitting above these swing highs, and we were looking for a potential push into those levels, get those liquidations to occur before getting another pull to the downside. And simply put, what happened, we were patient, right? And it got a little scary here, right? Because this happened right after the stream. It's like, oh, man, I hope I didn't miss the short position. But we stuck to the TA, and we trusted that it was going to play out. And what happened? We wound up getting the bounce, and we indeed did wind up coming and hitting that 786 Fibonacci retracement level. And there were very specific reasons why we were looking for it, right? We were looking for, we were obviously looking for that liquidity to get swept and that 786 to get tapped. And then we wound up getting instant little dump to the downside, as we typically do see with these swing failure patterns, which is what we had right here. So not only did we actually swing fail that SFP level from up here, you actually have two wicks that you SFP'd, right? This one and this one. But you also SFP'd that 786, and now we are accepted back into the range. So locally, we could potentially, we do have a 30-minute green dot. Maybe we come up to the high. But if we don't break out here, we could expect to reject that value area high and then come back down to the bottom of the range and potentially even correct a little bit more and come down to test some of these other levels below us. Because if you come on up to some of the higher hourly time frames, the 6 hours looking for a red dot, 8 hour also looking for a red dot. Your 10-hour VWAP is cooling off. But obviously being more careful with the shorts right now in this very bullish environment, guys. A reason why we were being very careful with the short here, managing that risk very tightly because we expected to potentially come back up. So being very careful with the shorts. However, I don't want to talk too much about where we're looking to take shorts or if we took shorts. That's because I don't want to share any too much information that we have in the premium Discord before it fully plays out or, hoping it plays out. But 4-hour red dot confirmed. It didn't really give us a big move down just yet, but we have hit a significant level, guys. That 786 Fibonacci retracement level, just like we look at this, right? If we come down to a 15-minute time frame, there's almost like you could pick any area of price action, and you can usually find these golden pocket 786 retracements, right? So if I pull a fib from this random high here to the low, what happened here, right? Well, simply put, we got a pullback, a retracement into the golden pocket 786 zone, and then the downtrend continued. Just like we used that technique, we can use this on the macro time frames as well, right? So we're looking at the weekly time frame. We got the big move down, the retracement to the upside. We got the the golden pocket retracement, a little bit of a pullback, and now we're at the 786. Excuse me. And when we're looking for price to put in a lower high or just give us some kind of a retracement, oftentimes it does happen within that zone. And this 786 is kind of that last retracement zone we'd expect a pullback from. So there's definitely a reason to potentially expect a little bit of a cool off here, not just because of the local price action that we just talked about, but also just the fact that we finally got that 786 macro retracement. And right now, locally, we are getting stuck under that POC, so we could potentially target that value area low. Now, we are also going to want to watch some of these key Fibonacci levels pulling from the low to the high. You can see just below these lows, we do have this golden pocket sitting between 55,734 and 55,632. This is going to be, if we deviate below this value area or value area low, we could look for a golden pocket / 786 retracement before getting another bounce to the upside. So these are just some of the local levels of support I will be watching. Golden pocket sitting right there, and then your 786 also sitting right there. Now, on top of that, guys, we also do have some very important support below that if we do continue down. Now, obviously, we are going to want to watch. Let me go ahead and hide that. Where is my macro value area? Did I just delete this horizontal line? Where's this value area high? Let me remark this out real quick with a horizontal. Bada boom. Right? So this is going to be another very key level because, as you guys know, typically when you break out of a value area, oftentimes you will wind up getting the breakout, and then on the retracement, you may come down and retest your value area high as support before continuing off to even higher prices. And maybe that's where you flip that 786, and then you shoot for that next key level at $61,161. So that is going to be another very, very key level. And actually, if we go ahead and move this fib down, you could see this Fibonacci. Now, not the most beautiful, beautiful confluence here in my own personal opinion, but this would be a significant level to watch as well because you guys will remember we also have. Let me see if I pull this. Yeah, we also had this mini range that we were trading in for, how long were we in this? Like a couple weeks, right? Yeah, about 12 days we were in that range. So we have this previous value area as well. So this is kind of what I'm looking at. Your local levels, right? If you're looking for scalps, get a rejection from this value area low and you break down, you're watching this golden pocket and this 786. If we get a bigger correction to come in, right? Going to be looking down towards the value area high as our key level of support. That is coming in at $54,489, give or take a couple of bucks. And then if you break down below this level, two things, right? This is kind of the danger zone because we have to understand that getting stuck under this value area high might not be the most bullish thing in the world. But if we do continue down and we don't get a bounce off that golden pocket, we do have very nice confluence right here, right? 786 value area high. So I know there's a lot of levels here, but they are all, in my opinion, they are all pretty important, right? So number one, locally, right? You want to break this down to local and macro. And I'll just pull another fib pull here just to get things to actually line up here, right? So locally, I will be looking at, and let me just get rid of all this. Clean things up. Bada, bada, boom. Bada bing. Yeah, so if we do break down locally, these are the two major levels I'm looking at. I don't want to say major, but just the two local levels I'm looking at. And then if we do get that bigger breakdown, like, gets a little bit more bearish, previous value area high at 54,489. And then obviously the golden pocket you want to pay attention to, but I'd really love to come down to that 786 if we can get it. So those are the key levels if we get the pullback here, guys. But again, really playing this level by level right now and just taking the trades when they present themselves. So there you go, right? Now let's get to the fun part. That's the local analysis, kind of what I'd be expecting in the long term. Maybe we get a little bit more of a pullback. However, and again, that is not just because we have the red dots on Market Cipher, but it really has to do with hitting this major level, right? Very similar to when we hit this macro golden pocket. We weren't expecting Bitcoin to go to zero, but we were expecting some kind of a significant pullback, and it did wind up being, a 21% pullback, right, or 20-ish% pullback. And there were a lot of people looking for this to not get a rejection. And, it's crazy. This is why you don't want to pay too much attention to, you don't want to live on Twitter. You don't want to live on YouTube, right? Getting all these different opinions. It could get very confusing, but we had a lot of people calling for just like a massive breakout of this golden pocket. I do not know why. But once you got above that level, now we're really off to the races, but we got to break that 786. But let's talk about if we do get above that 786 and this high volume node does not hold us back and that all-time high cannot contain the beast that we call Bitcoin, how high can we go? And the answer to the question, guys, is I don't know. But we can use technical analysis to find the key levels above and talk about kind of where the next likely place to get snagged up will be if we break that all-time high. Because we crack 69,182, guys. Bitcoin will be in price discovery. I can't believe I'm saying that, right? We talk about all these meme coins and all these like random altcoins that hit price discovery because they came out yesterday, right? But Bitcoin is 20% from entering price discovery, which is the craziest thing ever. But once we crack that level, things are probably going to get very crazy. A lot of people are going to FOMO. We're probably going to get a lot of liquidations, and things could get very, very crazy. Now, number one, first level I would be looking at is give me 1 second while I try to find this. Let me pull up the. Yeah, well, it actually does have to do with this chart here. But let me see if I can pull up. Let me see. What is that chart is the question. We'll just take a look at the cycle chart here. So number one, we're going to be looking at the Fibonacci extension levels. And there are actually a couple of different levels I'm looking at, guys. If we break this level, not the level we're at now, but if we break that all-time high at $69,000, give or take a few $100, right? We break out. First big level I'm going to be looking at is this purple box between $87,939 and $103,000. Now, I know that sounds crazy. And to be honest with you, before we looked for 100K, and it's actually crazy because I heard a couple of people talking about, potentially looking at 100K plus for Bitcoin in 2024. Now, again, here's the thing. There could be a few different reasons why we're seeing this big run up, right? Obviously, the spot Bitcoin ETF is a big hype factor, right? You get a lot of people FOMOing in. I'm starting to get asked by the normies, right? Like, oh, Frankie Candles, what should I buy? They don't say Frankie Candles because they're people that I know in my real life. Now everybody's hitting me up saying, what should I buy? What should I buy? And I just have to say, where were you when I was telling you to buy at the bottom? You ignored my text messages. Anyway, but when we get that move up, or if we get that move up, guys, this level right here, $91,158 is going to be a big level. Now, obviously, you're going to have that $80,000 psychological level as well. So keep that in mind. And actually, let me see. Do I have spider lines activated on here? Maybe I don't. Let me see. Where are... All right, let me just pull up the spider line charts real quick. Bada boom. Oh, boy, I haven't opened this one in quite some time. Why is it on Macy's? I was not analyzing Macy's, guys. Don't judge me. I was not looking at Macy's. You guys know I don't do stonks. No, I'm kidding. We do stonks sometimes. But I will come back to chat in just a second, guys. But let's continue on here and take a look at these. Let me go ahead and take a look at these spider lines really, really quick. Bada boom, bada bing. There we go. Okay, so where is the next spider line? Well, we do have one up here at about 60K, but coming up a little bit higher here between, and let me actually pull that same fib. Let me pull that same fib. Weekly, bada boom. Let me pull it, bada boom, to the bottom, bada bing. And then let me change the preset, bada boom. Okay, so I know there's a lot of spider lines here, but bear with me here, right? Yeah, 91,158. That was the level that we just looked at. That is the next Fibonacci extension level that I would be looking at. That is a huge level to watch. Now, if we do wind up getting above this level here, flipping on top of this spider line and getting the move up, that next spider line is coming in at about $81,000, right? And this is a spider line pocket, right? So you do have these two spider lines running. Now, does this add any, does this add any like extra sauce to these levels? You could say so. I tend to give them a little bit more weight. I like when I say something up here, guys, I like to make sure that I am completely based on what I'm saying and have information backing it up. I can't say that I've aggressively backtested this, but you could assume, these two spider lines being so close to each other could add a little bit of extra spice, to the spider lines here. And again, we flip that level here. The spider line confluence on this 786 is actually beautiful as well, right? So even if we wick up, you still have that spider line sitting here, at about 59K. But once you get above that, the next significant level is going to be this spider line pocket between, and again, this will move depending on how quickly we get up there. However, between, I would say, about 74 and, it really depends on how, I would call this around $80,000, right? Because unless we yeet up today or tomorrow, then it's going to be closer to around 75 to 77,000. But assuming we're going to get some bing bonging around here, by the time you get up here, it's going to be closer to about $80,000 to $81,000. So that is going to be the first stop, right? And I don't have these on my original chart here, but just to mark it out, that is really what I would be looking at, right? So I'll just put a horizontal ray. I'm going to put it between like $77,000 and then $81,000, right? And I will probably, to be honest with you guys, I will remake this. I'll probably put the spider lines on the actual live stream chart so we can look at this cleanly tomorrow. Yeah, this is like literally what I would be expecting. And I'm not going to, I kind of feel like a clown talking about this because it's like, calling for all-time highs like right now seems a little bit crazy. And to be honest, guys, why is Bitcoin shooting up like this? And, it could be for many reasons, right? You got to deal with the FOMO. Slowly, we could see attention start coming back to Bitcoin. You're going to start seeing it pop up in the headlines more in the mainstream media. That's going to bring all kinds of FOMO. Obviously, the ETF has a lot to do with it. I see a lot of people out there talking about how this is big money getting positioned before the really big move, potentially coming later this year or in 2025. Now, the real problem I have with that is you don't typically have the big money squeezing in at the top like retail, right? That is a classic retail move. This is where retail FOMO's in before a mega dump to the downside to scare everybody out, and then this is where all the big money would get in, right? Because I see a lot of people out there talking about how, the reason we're skyrocketing is because all the big money's like trying to get in before it's too late, and that's not how smart money moves, right? Like they will draw you in, right, and then they will absolutely nuke on you guys, not you guys, but on retail, right? I am included in retail, right? I'm not calling you guys retail. You're retail. I'm retail too, but we are not dumb money, right? So could they be kind of shuffling in here? This is why price is moving like crazy, maybe, but that is just not how smart money moves, right? They are typically, this is not like, it is the opposite of how smart money moves, right? It's like they don't all shuffle in at the top. They wait for the big dump, or they cause the big dump, and then they get in at lower prices. But, anything is possible, especially with the Bitcoin ETF. This is like a level of FOMO we may see in this cycle, guys, an institutional FOMO, which could really send this thing to the moon. But if we get that move up, simply put, really the only level I see is this high volume node, 61,116. Other than that, you have a couple of daily naked points of control just before the all-time high, but at that point, you may just shoot for the all-time high. If you break the all-time high, this is where things could go absolutely bananas. And everyone's like, oh, my God, it's going to $1 million. FOMO, 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 FOMO. And that is where I would be looking at this pocket between $77,000 to $81,000. If you break that, we'll be looking up towards that Fibonacci extension level at $91,000. So I said top 2 targets. That's really top 3 targets. But that is what I'm going to be looking at if we do break the all-time high. Now, I don't want everybody just getting crazy bullish right now because I still feel a little bit about just calling for these all-time highs. I am not calling for these levels, but what I am saying is, guys, we got off the stream yesterday, and Bitcoin absolutely mooned out of nowhere, right? If this happens again, I want the mafia to not freak out and be like, oh my God, what do I do? It's at 60K. Like, where's the next resistance? I want you guys to be fully prepared so you're not panicking, so you can make well thought out decisions and not decisions based off that panic, emotional FOMO that you are guaranteed to feel in that moment. So I want you guys to be prepared ahead of time. And like I said, locally, we could get that bigger pullback, right? But again, if it's an if this then that statement. If we pull back, we just talked about all those support levels. If we get a push to the upside, we just talked about those next targets to the upside, right? So you got to be prepared in either direction. But are we going to see a new all-time high before the halving? Let me know in the chat right now, and shout out to Golden. And Golden, we got the jackpots back, baby. Shout out to Golden for giving those 50 Frankie Candles memberships. You are the GOAT, bro. Just you get a membership. You get a membership. Where's Crypto Billy? Get him in here. I actually think he is in here. I actually have not looked at chat just yet. So let me go ahead and jump into chat. Shout out to let's go. Shout out to Golden. Says Golden woke up. Tim Candles fan. Shout out to you, bro. But this is basically what I'm looking at on Bitcoin, guys. Super, super exciting stuff. Shout out to the 1,041 people in here. Just so you guys know, if we get 1,000 likes on tonight's live stream, we will be giving away 0.02 Bitcoin, which is worth a pretty penny right now. So definitely smash that like button if you guys want a chance to win 0.02 Bitcoin on top of all the giveaways we already do every single week on this channel. So let me go ahead and jump into, shout out to LL Radio Control said, Golden chose violence. Let's go. Golden just assaulting people with memberships. Shout out to Golden, bro. You are the absolute GOAT. I cannot thank you enough. Shout out to Indiana Candle said, check super chats. Yeah, let me go ahead and jump in here. Oh, hey, Jason in the chat. Hang on one second here, guys. So real quick, shout out to Local 11 said, just draw the line and send it. Shout out to Local 11. That's what happened last night. We were just like, maybe 57K? And then, again, I don't want to sit up here, guys, and pretend that, like, I'm not the guy who's going to come up here and be like, I told you guys 57K mega pump was incoming. We didn't know it was going to happen that night. But obviously, we explained the exact reasons why we expected that move up. We don't just, like, find these levels and say, oh, I think it's going to hit that level. We go in depth, right? We figure out, we need multiple reasons to look for that level to get hit. If we can find those multiple reasons, we say it's likely, and oftentimes we will take bets on that move, right? And then sometimes you call for a level and it just out of nowhere gets there sooner than you originally thought. Shout out to Tony D said, is Chrome open? Chrome is no. Shout out to Tony D. Chrome breaks my computer if you guys didn't know. Let's see. Shout out to Indiana Candle said, what's up, bud? If we come up too fast, could we hit that bear div on the monthly? Has that ever happened? Shout out to Indiana Candles. I want to take a look at that very, very quickly. Yeah, we'll take a look at that in just a second because we do have some potential signs that could be calling for a little bit bigger of a pullback. It's not just hitting that macro 786, but it is also some other things popping up that could be calling for a pullback. Shout out to Golden for those 50 memberships. And shout out to Steven Diaz says, welcome, new members. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you so much for the super chat and showing love to the Mafia. And why is, shout out to Jason Casper. Wait, why did that not pop up in my super chat things? I had to go to this separately. But shout out to Jason, dude. Thank you so much, bro. You did not have to do that. But he says BTC is unstoppable. 500K imminent. Short from 786. Fingers crossed. Jason, let's go, buddy. Let's go. If we get wrecked, we get wrecked together, Jason. It doesn't matter if you get wrecked with your friends. Shout out to Jason, bro. Thank you for stopping by the stream. Thank you for dropping that love. I was talking to Jason last week, I think. I tried to drop a super chat on him, and just because he always comes in here and shows love, so I dropped a super chat on him, and I was like, super chat. And he's like, and then the stream literally ended 30 seconds, like right before it went through, he got off. But shout out to Jason Casper. Thank you so much for being here, bro. I appreciate you so much. And yes, I might message you on Discord later and be like, oh my God, it's in the red, Jason. What do we do? But shout out to Jason. Thank you so much for being here, bro. I really do appreciate you a lot, man. But let's go ahead and continue on and see what we got on. Let's see. Thanks, Frankie. Great stream. Shout out to Thomas. Thank you so much for saying that, bro. I appreciate you. Dave Hagan says, at that rate, at the rate we're going up, we'll be at a blow-off top pre-halving. Yeah. So let's talk about that because we are seeing some potential higher time frame signs of potential weakness, guys. And it could be, right? What are some signals we can look at a key level of resistance like a macro 786? Let me pull up a clean chart just to show you guys kind of the significance of these levels, right? We don't just look at these levels and just, and this is the chart I wanted to show you guys. But we are at, let me hide the spider lines really quickly. Bada boom, bada bing. Let me go ahead. I'll just get rid of this. I'll get rid of this. And we'll just take a look. And I will hide all that. Bada boom. Okay, so simply put, guys, looking at a clean chart, simply put, I know it's a lot of high volume nodes and naked points of control and all this confusing stuff, but if you just look at your Fibonacci pulls, right? Simply put, from the high to the low of the bear market, from the all-time high to the low of the bear market, this is your golden pocket 786 retracement, right? Why were we looking for a rejection on the golden pocket? Because, again, no matter what time frame you're looking at, you guys know that oftentimes, like right here, I can see this is probably a golden pocket retracement, right? If I came down to a lower time frame, I mean, we'll probably see it on the higher time frame as well. But right here, from the high to to that local low, or I'm sorry, it would be this local low, right? From the high to the low, price comes up, retraces into the 786 golden pocket before getting the move to the downside. This is nothing too fancy, right? It's a very common trading technique, right? But just like on these small time frames, we look at this on the high time frames as well. So that would make, we got that little rejection at the golden pocket, right? We got the nice pullback, beautiful short opportunity. Shout out to the kitchen or the premium Discord. But once we get above that, your next significant level of resistance or major retracement level is that 786. So many reasons to look for a pullback off this level. However, we also have some confirmation that we may indeed come down here, right? VWAP on the 5-day coming down towards the 0 line. Once you get that red dot, sure, you have a little bit of a bearish divergence, but I'm going to be honest with you guys, it's not that strong, right? However, we do have stronger divergences on some of the lower time frames, right? Specifically here, the daily. We don't just look too short. Unless we find a low time frame entry, which you could have seen, we actually low-key kind of called that, not called it, I hate saying that, like we called it, right? No. But we were talking about what I was looking for locally to potentially look for a short on the earlier stream this morning. Don't miss those when we go live in the morning. You never know what will drop. But, there is, we actually have macro reasons to potentially look for downside here, right? Major level of resistance, and we have those higher highs on our price action with potential lower highs on our momentum waves here on the daily time frame. That would likely give us a daily bearish divergence if it prints and confirms, and that could be what we need to get a little bit more of a pullback. Now, if you remember from the beginning of the stream, we already talked about the key levels of support I would be looking at, and again, this macro value area high being a very key level of support, but this could be the next thing to look for. This daily bear div may be the thing, right? If we wind up taking, or maybe we already took a short here, but if this is going to play out, this daily bear div printing would be a really big sign for me to potentially hold this trade for more gains, right? So we come down, maybe we retrace, and maybe as we're rolling back over on the retracement, maybe we're getting that bear div on the daily. In that case, I would probably hold that trade, and it may turn into a swing trade to bring us down a bit lower. And then remember, you can always use your previous volume profiles as context to figure out where price may likely go. And, if we break back into this local range, you might be wanting to look down here towards the value area low, getting closer to about $40,000, right? So there are reasons to potentially get a pullback here, but these are not confirmed or even printing, so we got to wait. Other than that, any shorts I take up here will be scalp shorts, expecting them to potentially not play out as big until we get those higher time frame confirmations. So that's what we're looking at on Bitcoin. I know that was a little bit of a mouthful. Shout out to Jessica, our female CandleMafia representative. Jessica, I don't think you were here earlier. I shouted you out by accident, and that's how legendary you are. So shout out to Jessica. But that is basically what we're going to be looking at on Bitcoin. Again, I know it was a mouthful, but there's a lot to look at here, right? Sometimes it's as simple as finding that level and hoping we hit it. And then sometimes there's a lot more to it. So that's what we're looking at. Again, 70, again, those higher macro targets for, let me pull up the spider lines again. Those macro targets or those next macro targets to the upside. Again, around 60K, you have that spider line. And I know I don't have all these spider lines on the chart as of right now, but let me go ahead and zoom out. Well, actually, we'll just take a look at this one because I just marked these. Next major target, if we do break those all-time highs, like, I don't know, guys. Like, maybe we break. I don't think we're going to break the all-time highs tonight, obviously. But who knows? Last night kind of got me like, man, things are crazier than I even thought. So if we do end up breaking the all-time highs, not tonight, but like at any point, those are the next major targets to the upside I will be looking at. So there you guys go. Shout out to Steven Sansbury. He says, great show as usual. Smash that like button, guys. 1,000 likes. We're giving away 0.02 Bitcoin. It's over $1,000, so smash up that like button. I appreciate the Mafia. And with all that being said, guys, let's go ahead and start taking a look at some altcoins. Spam those alts in the chat. Let me scroll up here a bit on chat. Shout out to Yo, let's go. He said, yo, Frankie, I'm long on ETH. Let's go. Let's actually jump right into Ethereum, guys, because simply put, guys, we filled our local range, right? We looked at this for quite some time. Oh, come on. This is not... oh, come on. Let me unhide some of this stuff. All right, I'm going to get rid of this. Do we not have the local range? Okay, so let me pull up the other Ethereum chart. Bada boom. Okay, so I think this might be it. Bada boom, bada bing. May 2022. Okay, so let me hide the macro value area really quick. which is right here. I'm going to call this macro value area, and we're going to go ahead and hide it. And drag this in there and take a look at the May value area. So obviously, guys, most recently, we looked for this value area to get filled as we were tapping our head here saying, hey, hopefully we can get a retracement, look for a long position, and then wind up getting back above that value area low. And if you guys know anything about the volume profiles, simply put, you flip that value area low, you were looking up towards your POC and value area high to get hit at about $3,000. We were talking about this about a month and a half ago, calling for this potential $3,000 Ethereum in 2024. Obviously, we saw that range fill just like on Bitcoin. We've compared it many, many times. It's almost identical to what Bitcoin did. And simply put, just like we expected this to happen based off of what Bitcoin did, we are also going to be potentially expecting Ethereum to fill its macro bull market range, which does have a value area high getting closer to about $3,534. So still looking at this as a potential magnetic price target for Ethereum, sitting at $35.34. And simply put, I mean, shout out to, I forget who just said they were in a ETH long, but if you are in that ETH long, this could be a potential place, not financial advice. I don't even really trade money. I just trade paper on a demo account. I would never trade my real money. Obviously, trading is a scam, right? Everyone will lose their money. Leverage trading is gambling. You lose all your money. I'm just kidding. Well, you could do that, but, you know, this is the next target, right? It remains the same. I want to keep it simple. I don't want to overcomplicate something that is in a very simple setup. So, you know, could we pull back? Potentially, but eventually we will expect that 35-34 value area high to get hit. And if we go ahead and pull our Fibonacci retracement from the all-time high to the all-time low, guys, simply put, it's doing the same thing Bitcoin did when it hit the macro golden pocket, right? We're looking for that big old move to the upside to hit that golden pocket. And then if we break out of the value area high, just like on Bitcoin, that next major target will be the 786 retracement level sitting right here at about $4,000. So can we see Ethereum hit $4,000? Well, if it follows in Bitcoin's footsteps, it is definitely possible. And the TA is there to back it up as well. Now, on top of that, we do have that weekly money flow still nice and thick in the green. VWAP starting to roll over just a little bit. So, you know, nothing goes up in a straight line. We've actually had quite a move here on Ethereum from basically the bottom. You know, a nice 53% move through this range, guys. So beautiful to see this thing fill so cleanly. We looked at this for so long. And I'm not going to lie, guys. I've been doing this for a while. And, you know, I've proven my my skills to myself many times, but I will just never stop trying to prove myself to myself. I'm very critical of myself, and there are times where, you know, sometimes I look for something and I'm like, man, I hope this happens. Like, what if I'm wrong? Like, I get a little bit uneasy on my predictions as well, but it is so nice to just see this stuff play out exactly as we would expect it to. Not because I'm the best trader or I'm the best analyst at all. It just has to do with the TA that we do here on the channel, and you could do this too. And that is the whole point of this YouTube channel, is to help you guys understand how we come to these conclusions, how we find multiple levels of confluence, and all of that put together is the reason why a lot of these targets are, you know, that's why when we look for $57,000, we shoot up to these levels and reject the exact level, right? It's not because I'm magic, right? I know a lot of people say I have a crystal ball, and maybe I do, maybe I don't. I don't know. But, you know, this is, you know, I am a normal person, right? And this is why we teach this for free, because I want to help you guys change your life through trading crypto, whether the prices are going up or down, just like we did. So let's continue on. That's what I'd be looking for. Many reasons, you know, I am bullish on Ethereum, right? Now, it doesn't mean that we can't pull back tonight, but, or tomorrow or the next day or short term, right? But in the long term, I would expect that golden pocket and 786 to potentially get hit at some point this year, or some point in the near future. So looking pretty good on Ethereum. Now, you know, a little bit more locally, taking a look at the 12-hour, you know, we are starting to potentially put in some bearish signals. Now, again, this is not the strongest thing, right? This is almost an exaggerated bear div, which, I mean, exaggerated bear divs sometimes play out great. Sometimes they play out a little less than normal, and sometimes they're just false signals, right? So it's a little bit hard to call this. However, I would like to see if we have any significant... Yeah, look at this rejection on the daily. Look at that fresh daily level. Swing failed at fresh daily level. You can't make it up. Yeah, I mean, these levels are respected. I didn't even know that was there, to be honest with you guys. So, you know, we are potentially... and here's the thing, guys. You want to treat these bearish divergences, even if you have one, treat it with a, you know, care, right? Because this money flow is thick. I'm not expecting this to nuke ETH to the floor, right? We would expect this to be a light pullback before continuing up to our higher target. So I'm still bullish, still looking for higher targets here on Ethereum, but we're hitting that fresh daily level. Let me see if we have any other confluence on this area. Yeah, and monthly level. This is what you want to see. This is a strong level of resistance right here. So if we do wind up pulling back here, it would make a decent bit of sense to get some kind of a cool off at this monthly and daily level. They're not naked points of control. But do we have naked points of control? Oh, my God. There is a couple of reasons to look for a pullback here, guys. Now, we do have the key resistance. You do have, higher prices, higher highs on your price action, lower highs on your momentum waves, giving you that bearish divergence. So maybe we get a little pullback here. But again, I wouldn't expect anything too serious based off money flow. Your 10-hour red dot is printing, 12-hour bearish divergence and red dot looking to print pretty soon here, to be quite honest with you. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we cool off. Resistance on top of market cipher B, potentially calling for a little bit of a pullback. 6-hour and 8-hour red dot printing. Let's go down to that 30-minute time frame. Yeah, so here you go. This is kind of the bearish case on ETH in the short term. Money flow starting to flow out here on the 30-minute. On top of that, you have your 8-hour red dot printing. Oftentimes, when you get that 30-minute money flow. Yeah, we only have 20 minutes left to confirm that red dot, so you're probably not going to get this set up, to be honest with you. But when you have those lower time frame, money flow is kind of choppy, to be honest. It's generally trending down, but it is kind of jagged here. I would be careful. Yeah, not the clearest money flow, but I wouldn't be surprised if you get a pullback here. With money flow generally and technically coming out on the lower time frames, as well as that 8-hour red dot, 45-minute red dot as well, and the 12-hour red dot lingering. You have a lot of reasons to potentially look for a pullback, but nothing really alarming, right? I would just look for some kind of a cool-off before potentially coming up to some of those higher targets. So I'd be pulling my local fibs, not from there. Pull it from here to the high. And let me just go ahead and change the settings here. I would... so I would watch this golden pocket here at 31.34 for a potential retracement if you get the pullback. This is going to be that first little zone of support. So we'll put this on the chart, and then as always, we'll check it tomorrow to see if we came down to it, and if we did, see if it was respected. Most of the time they're respected, not all the time though. But there you go. That's what I'd be looking at on Ethereum, guys. In the long term, definitely going to be targeting these higher targets. A lot of reasons to be looking higher here. Have not filled the range. This reminds me. Right? This reminds me of Bitcoin consolidating right here, right? What are we doing? We're consolidating, right? Or even down here, right? We consolidated, and you could see, you could do this for quite a long time. This can be brutal sideways action, right? Before you wind up seeing the range fill. But it reminds me of kind of bing-bonging around sideways before finally hitting that value area high. Very similar. Maybe we kind of bing-bong around here before finally coming up to that value area high at 35.34. So there you go. There is Ethereum. Let's go. Let's see. Shout out to Mr. TJ. Thank you for the super chat, bro. I appreciate you. He said, bro, help me feel better about my AVAX paper trade. I entered at 35, 8x leverage. Am I nervous for nothing? Shout out to you, bro. We could try to take a look at AVAX in just a second. Shout out to Altcoin Corey, or Daddy Zach, better known as, says, hit that like button, you degens. 1,000 likes. We're giving away over $1,000 in Bitcoin. 0.02 Bitcoin. Let's see. How low can it go, Frankie? Shout out to J9. I guess you're talking about Ethereum. First level I would be looking at is right here, between $32.90 and at $3,037. Let's go ahead and jump. We'll just jump right into AVAX. And shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. I got you, brother. Thank you for counting up those votes and letting us know which ones we're looking at. Also, guys, while I pull up AVAX, don't forget Billy Goat Tales tonight at 9 p.m. Crypto Billy's Twitter space, one of the best Twitter spaces, actually the single best Twitter space on Twitter or X. Go check it out. They're dropping all kinds of sauce in that space. Shout out to our boy Crypto Billy. We love you, bro. Go check him out. Support him and go get some serious crypto alpha. You never know who will pop up. But taking a look at AVAX here. Let's see. This is not the AVAX chart I want to look at. Let's take a look at the Coinbase chart. Should we just start a new AVAX chart? Oh, no. Let's come to the live stream. Okay. Okay, so we'll do AVAX, Binance. Yeah, here it is. This is our actual AVAX chart, and let's take a look here. So Whoo, baby. Okay, support respected. Right on that weekly naked point of control. Resistance respected. Let me just make sure. Yeah, it's not that one. Just making sure. Okay, yeah, so it's definitely this one. Bada boom. Okay, so yeah, this weekly naked point of control, this is why we look at these levels, guys. Like, these are sauced out levels. They don't always play out like that, but they are typically very, very strong levels. However, let's take a look here. So, obvious, let me update this a little bit. So, yeah, not only did you have your value area low down here, you also had your weekly naked point of control, making that a very key place to look for a bounce. Right now, we are simply interacting with the point of control of the range, which is to be expected. This is expected to be respected. But and what did you say, Mr. TJ says? I entered at 35 8x leverage. Yo, shout out to Mr. TJ. Let me know. It's okay if it's not. But I am just curious, did this zone of support that we were looking at have anything to do with your trade? Just let me know. But nice trade, bro. First off, nice work. Congratulations. This is a beautiful trade. I can already tell. Not only did you come down to your key support, it was the value area low. You also have bullish divergences here, very, very clear. I mean, this is the 45-minute randomly. I could just already see that this was a beautifully executed trade as you had your lower lows, as momentum was coming up, your money flow crossed over, and then bing bong right here. I'll tell you this, brother. If I was in this trade, this is how I would handle it, right? This is not financial advice. This is just what I would do, right? If I were in this trade at about $35, this is how I would handle the trade, right? I would enter with the hopes of holding the value area low, right? And I would look for a move to the POC. This is TP1, especially on this move. You already got a 13% pump. That is beautiful. That is plenty to make money. I'm sure you're up pretty big. I don't know how much money you're trading with. Yeah, we're going to take a look at XRP. Wait, is it actually going super ballistic right now? Oh, yeah, no, we'll take a look at it. Shout out to Tony D. Let's see. Pasta ain't no good without sauce, just like crypto ain't no good without the mafia. Bing bong. Shout out to John Vucci. What is going on, my paisan? Welcome in. I don't know. I'm pretty sure you've been here, but shout out to you. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Dave says, nothing, bro. XRP at 58 cents. Yeah, it's funny. I saw someone being like, oh my God, XRP's on fire, which I'm not saying it's not on fire compared to what it was doing, but when I pull up the chart, I looked and I was thinking it was like really at our level, but it wasn't. It's really just not doing anything. But he said, got hyped because last time I looked at it, it was at 55 cents. Yeah, it definitely moved, got a big move from where it was, but it's still not in our excitement zone. But we will be looking at XRP right after this, actually. Shout out to Mr. TJ. What I would be looking at here, brother, is going to be TP1 at the POC. This is what I would be doing with a potential, possibility of flipping that POC to support, which is sitting at 39.42. If you flip that level to support decisively, right? Because you can see you do like to play with these levels sometimes, right? You bing bong up, you bing bong down. You bing bong up, you lose the level, and now you're rejecting it, right? So you could come down a little bit more. However, once you do flip that POC at 39.42, I would be looking up towards that value area high, sitting closer to about 43 cents. But always remember, when you're in profit, you got to pay yourself. Because if you don't pay yourself, you will quickly not be in the green anymore. So trust me, I learned that blowing up account after account after account before I actually understood what I was doing and became profitable. So just trust me, I know better than anybody that you need to take your profits. Trust me. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to V-Sun, said portfolio was up yesterday, then today. Shout out to V-Sun. Let's get it. Let's see. Bada boom. I like rubbing possum bellies. Well, shout out to Crimson Caravan Company and shout out to Wick 589. But anyway, that is what I would be looking at on AVAX. Looking a little bit more at Market Cipher B. I mean, 4-hour money flow don't look too bad, brother. It do not look too bad. And I will tell you this. I'll be honest, man. Shout out to you, Mr. TJ. Beautiful move here. I mean, Beautiful little lower lows on your price action. 4-hour bullish divergence with money flow coming up, guys. Oftentimes, that is a mark of a significant bottom. Not always, but you could even see right here. When you have that occur at a value area level, right? Value area high. In this case, you had your 4-hour bearish divergence. Your money flow came out. What happened? You went right to the POC, lost the POC, right to the value area low. And this is literally the same thing in the opposite direction. So to be quite honest, man, I don't see many. I mean, this is a pretty clear and nice setup, bro. Great work. But that's what I'd be looking and kind of how I would handle things. If that money flow crosses over into the green on the 4-hour, I would expect more upside once you break that POC for sure. But obviously, pay yourself. Don't just listen to people on YouTube. This is not financial advice. You got to make your own financial decisions. So there you go. All right, let's continue on here. Let's go ahead and take a look at XRP. Shout out to the XRP army. Drop those XRP emojis in the chat if you got them. We got the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP emojis. If you remember, go ahead and drop that XRP emoji. If you're in the Mafia, if you're in the XRP army, I guess the Mafia coin would be like Monero Mafia, I guess Monero Mafia would be it. But XRP finally getting a little bit of a move here. Now, we kind of had two things we were looking at on XRP. Boring zone between the POC and value area high of this range, or of this range, right? You have your POC and your value area high. We were bing-bonging back and forth. But we were not looking to get excited on XRP, guys, until we broke out of that range decisively. And then we came back in. But we weren't going to get excited until we flipped this level 2 support and got a move up to the value area low and flip that value area low to support. So here's the thing. XRP did get a significant move here. Very nice to see. That was a kind of a horrible measurement there. About 12, 13%. Not bad. But we do tend to hang out in this kind of black hole for a little while. So I would be a little bit cautious of a little bit more of a bore fest. But if we do wind up coming up towards this value area low, guys, and we flip this level 2 support, in my opinion, this is where XRP gets exciting, right? Now, I will not get out of bed for XRP until we flip this value area low to support, right? We flip that to support. That's where I'm looking up to higher prices. But, I mean, hey, we're on the way, right? We could still be stuck in this range. So I don't want to undermine what XRP is doing. A 13% move ain't nothing to scoff at. Fresh green dot printing on the daily here. Money flow starting to come back up as well. 4-hour money flow crossing over into the green. So we will go ahead and see if this thing can continue to bring us up. But yeah, other than that, not too much to look at on XRP. I could try to dig here a little bit. 90-minute red dot printing, pretty dang overbought here, to be honest with you. 4-hour also overbought. VWAP coming to the downside. So maybe you cool off just a little bit. But I'll be honest with you guys. Key level, 63 cents. We get up there, that's major resistance. We flip it, that's the doorway to higher prices. I'm not, mark my words. But for real, you come out of that 63-cent level, flip it to support. Mark my words. This could be, as long as you hold that level, that could be where you get the bigger move up. So there you go. Other than that, potential 4-hour bear div, looking to print here, right? Now, money flow is coming into the green, so I wouldn't look to take it, I wouldn't look to get a big move. But we could look for some kind of a pullback here. And then, how far can we pull back? That's kind of a loaded question here because there's many places we could pull back. I mean, heck, the thing could go to 0. But not that I would expect XRP to go to 0, guys. I don't want anyone to be like, he thinks XRP is going to 0. Definitely not. I don't think it's going to 0. So, yeah, nice. I would definitely watch this level right here. Not going to explain this one too much. It's a little bit abstract. But you know what? I've made some killer money off of abstract TA. I'm kidding, guys. Don't do abstract TA. Make sure your TA is legit. But in all realness, this golden pocket between 56.81 and 56.66, that's going to be a big level to watch. You have confluence with this value area high. So if you come back down, bada boom, look for a bounce. If you break that level, look for a bounce off the 786. You lose this level, simply put, looking down towards your previous value area high, in which case I hope is not going to be the case, because if this thing gets back into this range, guys, I'm selling all my XRP. I don't care anymore. I'm kidding. I'm not selling. I'm never selling. I'll never sell my XRP. I'm kidding. That is an emotional move. I'm just joking, guys, for real. If I thought there was a reason to dump all my XRP, I will dump all my XRP, right? I'm not just going to hold it because hashtag emotions, right? But I'm just kidding. I'm not going to sell all my XRP if we break back in here. I'm just going to be extremely upset because we're likely going to see more boring price action. What we really want is a move up to 63 cents and a flip to support to see those higher prices come on in. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Also, guys, I do want to remind you, Tony D, if you could drop that. Oh, wow. Holy good. Wow. Shout out to Tony D. Read my mind. Just so you guys know, if you are interested in trading these wild markets, check out Blowfin. Tony D just dropped a link in the chat. Tony D, if you could just drop it again, just because it kind of moved up in the chat. They are doing a 1 month promo just for the CandleMafia, where you can save on your fees. Let me just double check. I want to make sure I say the right fees. But it is going to be running for about a month. And if I can have it pull up here on if I can pull up the actual rates here. There we go. So it's going to be, if you guys want to save on your fees for the next 30 days, 0.01% maker fees and 0.05% taker fees. So if you guys are interested in trading on Blowfin, obviously it helps out the channel as they are one of our affiliate exchanges. But you can check the link in the description down below to save on those fees. I have a lot of people ask me about where's the cheapest place to trade. So when they hit us up for this deal for the Mafia, I know a lot of people will like to take advantage of that. So go check that out if you're interested. And with all that being said, let's go ahead and move on to our next coin, which is going to be Solana. Or Solana, as some people, or Solonzo, as our boy James Kramer would say. Look at the 786 respect. Look at the 786 respect. Don't get much closer than that. Bing bong. But this is that's pretty old news. But anyway, what are we looking at here on Solana? Well, simply put, I'll tell you this. Let me go ahead and let me pull this range real quick. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm actually going to hide this macro range. But just so you guys don't get lost, as far as where we are contextually, we have this massive range between $81 and $106, right? You get the move down, you get the move up, deviation, back into the range, and now we're trying to fight back above. Money flow just crossed over into the red on the daily. This VWAP does look like it's rolling over, so we do have to be careful. Because this is a value area high, it's kind of a split decision here. It's very key that we hold this as support to get a move up, but it's also pretty key if we get stuck underneath it, we are likely going to see much more downside. Now, I'm going to get rid of this just because we have already hit these levels. But if you look here, if we flip this level to support, that's likely what will give us that big move to the upside. Now, you do have this daily level up here. Let me label this as a daily. This is your next key resistance at $120.95, almost $121. And you got to hold this key level here at $106, $107, to get that bigger move up. However, what I would look at here is the context of this volume profile or this previous range, this local range right here. So you can't forget that you have this bigger range down here. But I'm going to hide this, right, just to clean up the chart a little bit. Let's go ahead and hide it, and hide it, right? So what I would do is locally, I'd be looking at this local range right here. So I grab my rectangle, I'll extrapolate these to the right, turn this to neutral, and then we grab our horizontal ray, lock it, and then you got your value area high, your POC, your value area low, and let me drag it up there like this. Bada boom, bada bing, bang. Okay, so now look at this. Look at this context, guys. What happened here, right? Now we know what happened. Simply put, right, there's always a reason why price is moving, right? Or always a reason why price is rejecting or bouncing from somewhere. Well, we rejected here. Well, maybe it had something to do with that value area high. Well, simply put, we got to move into our range, interacted with the POC, came back down to the low, held that value area low as we deviated, came back into the range, and now we're getting resistance on this POC. So I would definitely say this is legit to be looking at for your levels. So locally, if you're trading Solana, value area low sitting at 106.92, POC, there we go, sitting at 109.43, and your value area high sitting at 114.44. So this is now the context of price, right? Isn't it like, now we know what's going on, right? Like, I don't know how people don't feel like this about the volume profile. This is why I am passionately, teach the volume profile, because it's like, oh my God, what is happening? There's so many levels, and then you find that range, and it is a skill in itself to be able to know what ranges to look at, which ones are going to be respected. However, now we know what's going on. So now we know if we lose this level at 106.92 and we deviate, if we get bullish confirmations here, we could potentially look for a long position back into the range above the POC up to the value area high, sitting at $114, right? So that's basically it, right? Our key level of resistance, the POC, we flip this, we could look to go to the high. Once we get up to that value area high and we deviate, if we get bearish confirmations up here, this is where we could look at this as an overbought Solana or an overvalued Solana to see it ride back into the range, into the fair value, right? Between these two levels is the fair value for Solana, and when it's overvalued, you could sell it back into where we are expecting things to trade, right? So there you go. That is simply put what I'd be looking at on Solana. Looking to print a potential 2-hour green dot, and if you're going to come up and potentially, I would be careful of a bearish divergence to form here. I don't know if that's likely to happen, to be honest with you. But if you get that green dot on the 2-hour, key level to flip, 109.43. Next major target, going to be the value area high at 114. Simply put, right? Money flow trending to the upside. Take a look at the 4-hour. VWAP rolling up. Money flow on the 4-hour also looking to potentially cross into the green. Now, look at the last money flow crossover into the green. Granted, it did end in it did start with a move up, right? Let me highlight that. Started with a move up, got a little deviation below the range, but then what happened? We deviated from the value area low right to the value area high. Deviation above the high, right back down to the low. But the point here is, all of these money flow crossovers into the green do wind up giving you sizable moves to the upside, right? Bada boom. This one gave you a 14% pump. This one wound up giving you, over time, a 13% pump. If this one were to give you something similar, could bring you, back to these previous highs right here, where you do have that daily just above. So that's what I would look for. I would actually, here's a little bit of a freebie, guys. Last time we did this on the live stream, the trade hit perfectly. Do not take trades based off of what someone says on YouTube. I want to be very clear. This is not financial advice. You should never take any of this as any kind of financial advice at all, right? I'm not a financial advisor. And like I said, I only paper trade. But if we look at the SFP here, we could assume that if there's a lot of people short here, if they're still short when we come up there, they will eventually be off sides, right? And then their liquidations might be above the previous high, which could fuel a move into that daily and give us a potential swing failure pattern back down to the value area high. If we break back into the high, I'd look for a move to the low and the POC. Now, it's a little bit far out to predict. I'm not saying it's going to guarantee to happen like that. But, simply put, we trade these volume profiles as ranges, right? And that's what I'd be looking for. A money flow crosses over into the green. Maybe we get the 13% move up to this level. Shorts get wrecked, pushes it up to the daily, and that's where we get that first significant pullback. Now, this is kind of abstract, like I said before. If I were to pull this Fibonacci level, let's say we topped out at that daily. Interesting. And again, there's no guarantees this will happen. Okay, yeah. All right, I'm not going to really mark those levels out because they are imaginary. I pulled a fib to an imaginary high, right? So I'm basically saying to myself, hey, if we break out of here and go to, $120, what would the Fibonacci pulls look like at that point? So I'm pulling that's what I mean by pulling fake fibs, right? This is not a real high. I drew this, right? But I didn't really get anything too important there. So this money flow on Solana does not look bad, guys. We could probably fill this range as long as we hold above the value area low. So that's what I'd be looking at on Solana. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at Gala. Oh, I'm wondering why chat won't move. Caspa's looking bullish. Shout out to Honest Crypto. Shout out to you, brother. We could try to take a look at Caspa in just a minute. Let's see. Bada boom. Hey, shout out to Kelly Kellum says do a giveaway for the crew. This donation towards candles giveaways, maybe some green maybe some green Tably candles. Shout out to Kelly. Says bull baby. Let's go. Shout out to Kelly, and also shout out to M Ninja 4. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for getting that Frank Candles membership. Shout out to Kelly, bro. Thank you so much for that super chat, bro. I appreciate you so much. He sent 2, and I also missed one here. RJ said, can you do super? We could try to take a look at super. I think that is a meme coin. And Kelly also said, I got in super DGen Maximus game today and got the ultimate meme of memes. Since I hate meme coins, I grabbed some Tripe. Some Tripe. LOL, combo of Trump Pepe. Let's go, D-Gens. All right, maybe we'll do a little bit of meme coin action here. Yeah, maybe we'll take a look at some meme coins in just a second. Super and Trump Pepe. Shout out to Kelly and shout out to RJR. Thank you guys so much for the super chats. I really do appreciate you. Super is not a meme. That's Elio. Okay, shout out to Dave Digital. Let's see. Okay, so let's continue on here. This is what I'd be looking at on Solana. I don't know what just fell out of my pocket, but it was big and heavy. All right, let's see. Okay. All right, so let's take a Gala and Doge. Let's take a quick look at Gala, and then we'll jump into some meme coins. Gala getting a little moonshot here. Look at that 4-hour candle. Shout out to M Ninja. Thank you for sending that super sticker. Is that what that is? Let's see. Okay, so let's go ahead and why did I just measure this? All right, 35% pump. That is a crazy 28% 4-hour candle. That is nuts. Gala with a beautiful move to the upside. Take a look at the daily. Money flow crossover into the green on the daily. This is obviously going to be a bullish sign. We are entering the overbought territory, right? So this is why you do not want to FOMO. Granted, you can remain overbought for quite some time. You don't necessarily want to be buying these overbought conditions, right? You want to wait, for your momentum waves to be at the low here. Now, remember, momentum waves don't necessarily dip into the lows here or below the zero line as often as they do on the daily in a bull market, right? If you look at anything, right, in a bull market, you spend most of your time above the zero line, right? But come on, where are we at? This is nice, right? You got a full breakout of your range. Let me go ahead and get rid of some of these levels. Bada boom, bada bing. And let me go ahead and extend this. So yeah, deviation above, back to the low, deviation below, bull divs on the daily with money flow coming up. I mean, here you go, guys. This is pretty textbook, right? Very similar to that AVAX trade that I almost said the other TJ. That's another person named TJ in the chat. Mr. TJ got into this nice move, that nice AVAX long, based off the 4-hour bull dip with the money flow coming up, which, like I said, does oftentimes mark significant bottoms. And you can see here, lower lows on price action, higher lows on momentum waves, money flow coming up on the daily, wound up giving you a mega move to the upside as you have now broken out of that volume profile. So the only thing to do here is going to be to find your next key areas of resistance. And I already have a volume profile pulled here. Let's go ahead and extrapolate it to the right and see. Yeah, look at that. We're probably clung up. Where's that POC at? Okay. So, yeah, this is what I would look at, right? Your horizontal ray. You got your value area high, your POC, and your value area low. And, yeah, you can see here we have broken above. And, look how these levels are respected, guys. These are not imaginary levels. Look at the respect on this value area low. So you hop above, flip it to support, and now we're potentially looking to flip this POC to support. If we're able to succeed in that, I would look for a move up to that 0.04429 level for Gala. So just simply put, I'll do the local analysis here. That's what I'd be looking for. If you lose the POC, simply put, your key level supports that value area low. If you wind up losing your value area low, I would simply, let's go to the 4-hour. I'm not even going to pull a fib. I would probably just watch this little cluster of consolidation. Yeah. So, if you lose this low, pulling up the VPVR. Oh, wow. Pushing down towards that POC right now. Let's pull up that VPVR. Bada bing. Yeah, your next high volume node is sitting right here, or your shelf of volume here at 0.03487. And then you have your value area down here. So these are the levels of support. If you lose this shelf of volume, I would look to potentially get accepted into this range and just trade this as a typical volume profile. But until we get a bigger breakdown, key support, POC, approaching it right now. Below that, value area low at 0.03890. So there you go. Quick and dirty on that dang Gala. Let's go ahead. I want to take a quick look at Doge. check Coinbase. Take a look at the daily. Actually, check the Binance chart. Okay, here we are, guys. Here we are. Oh God, you can't make it up, guys. You can't make it up. I love TA. I will accept being the nerdiest of all nerds, guys. As long as you don't take that TA. Woo, baby. I love this. So here we are, guys. What were we looking at on Dogecoin? Now, I don't remember exactly when we were looking at it last. We're here on the 8-hour time frame. Do we have a let me see if we have a yeah, I think that is the take a look at the Bybit chart. Yeah, no, this is the chart. So simply put, right? Remember we were talking about this on the stream the other day, right? I think it was late last week. Maybe it was Friday's live stream. We were looking at Dogecoin. That's right. I had my nephew come on and do exclusive analysis, and I told him it was going up, and he cried. Well, Mr. Jack, what happened? It went up. So, yeah, it just goes to show he calls himself a professional, 9-month-old professional analyst here, and he was wrong. I'm kidding. But anyway, taking a look here. Shout out to my nephew. As we are bing-bonging around this range, guys, simply put, our key levels of resistance is between this value area high, golden pocket 786 confluence, and obviously very well-respected 786. Got the pullback, and we are kind of just bing-bonging around. Let's pull up Market Cipher, VWAP rolling over on the 12-hour. Let's check that daily money flow crossover into the green. Like I said, guys, on Friday, what we were looking at on Doge was that weekly money flow crossover, saying, hey, last time we got that weekly money flow crossover, we got a fake out of the range, right? And it's not often that at the tail end of a bear market, when you get those money flow crossovers into the green on the weekly, it doesn't often fake out more than one time, right? Because if you look at something like Link, right? Link didn't necessarily fake out into the green, but it did fake out. I mean, what is this? July 24th. Let's check Doge. Was that where we got the... Yeah, July 24th was right before... Oh, no, I'm sorry. Is it? Yeah, no. So it's not the same exact time. But Chainlink, you could see here, almost faked out into the green right here as we tried to break out of our bear market range, right? So you have your bear market range. We faked out a little bit, almost came into the green, and then you went back into the red one last time, and that second attempt to cross over into the green was successful, and that's where you got the breakout targeting the bull market range, right? So if we wind up coming back over to Dogecoin, we're in that bear market range, right? We've already had one fake out into the green on money flow on the weekly, and now we have finally confirmed that money flow crossover into the green, that second money flow crossover into the green. Could this be the thing that brings us out of this range into the bull market range, which does technically start up here at about 17 cents, but we do have this key level right up here, which is derived from the actual visible range volume profile. At about 14 cents, almost 15 cents, about 0.14840, that is going to be another major target. So is this money flow crossover going to be the one that breaks us out of that bear market range, just like we did on Chainlink, into that macro value area low to potentially flip that to support and get a much bigger move up on Dogecoin, potentially? I mean, we already got one fake out. Unless the whole market gets a huge dump here, guys, if the altcoins still run, I think it is very probable to expect Dogecoin to potentially break out here. Not financial advice, but, no better chance to break out here other than a weekly money flow crossover at the end of a bear market on the second attempt with a daily money flow crossover into the green as well. So you are overbought here. So it's not impossible to kind of cool off, right? Spawn the levels here again. Maybe you cool off. I'm going to get this golden pocket off real quick. If you do wind up getting a correction here, I would look at this POC retest as a potential entry into a long position. Not if you come down here, enter a long, right? You have to assess the situation when you get down there. But if we do get a little rejection here, because, again, we are pretty overbought here on the daily, we get a little pullback, I would look towards that POC Golden Pocket 786 retracement between 0.08436 and 0.07940 for a potential last chance to get in. If we are going to break out, that may be your last chance to get in before that breakout, because once you get that breakout, chances are, if you make it past this high volume node at 14 cents, you're likely going to attack that 18-cent value area low, and that could be your doorway to higher prices, which I will just doorway to higher prices. I will just abbreviate that and put it right there. Let's see. Shout out to Dave Digitals at Frankie Candles. Shout out to Randy Hipper in the chat. What is going on, Randy? I hope you enjoyed your birthday, Randy. I heard you got some really, really good gifts from some really good people. Shout out to Randy. But let's see. Let me see. Dave Digital, I did see you tried to get my... He did try to get my Mama Candles in the chat. Wait, Mama Candles as in my mom, or Mama Candles as in Captain Kirk, CandleMafia Mama? Hang on, guys, hang on. Oh, my mom is in the chat. Let's go. Shout out to my mom. Look at me, Mom. I'm on TV. Bitcoin's ripping. Ma, I'm sending you a package. It might be coming in a truck. With a Lamborghini logo on it. Bitcoin's ripping, Mom. Look at us go. I'm on TV. Shout out to my mom. Show my mom some chat in the show my mom some chat in the love. Show my mom some love in the chat, guys. Shout out to my mom. Thank you for being here, Mom. I miss you very, very much. Please come visit me. I haven't eaten in months. I'm just kidding. Mrs. Candles takes good care of me. Yikes. Is she in the chat? Mrs. Candles. Mrs. Candles. Okay, no. Shout out to, not Mrs. Candles in here. Mrs. Candles is not in here. Let's see. Shout out to Wick's wife said, is Linda his mom? Hi, Mom. We love you. Thanks for bringing Frankie for us. Thanks for birthing Frankie for us. Shout out to Wick's wife, Fine89. Thank you so much. Kelly goes, your mother. Shout out to Kelly. But yeah, show my mom some love in the chat. Hey, she said, can't wait. Love you. Shout out to Mom. Yeah, let me know when you want to come. Tony D, don't talk to my mom, Tony D. Get out of here. Get out of here. This is pretty funny. It's bring your mom to work day. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on, guys, and take a look here at, that was Dogecoin. Let's take a look at some of those meme coins. What was the, or this is not a meme coin, apparently. Super, let's check this. Super Farm. Interesting. Oh, it's on Coinbase. That's a good sign. Let's take a look here. I bet that was a monthly bull div, but we don't have any information down here. Yeah. All right. Yeah, look at that. So... yeah. A lot of the signal on a lot of these altcoins to bottom out, guys. We talked about this a lot. We haven't talked about it recently, but we talked a lot about it on that first pump that we got on the meme coins, kind of in the bear market. The 2-day bull divs here on a lot of the altcoins is what caused the bottom to come in here and that big move to the upside, or that first big move to the upside. So this thing is going super crazy. Shout out to anybody holding this. You are massively in profit, assuming you didn't buy up here. But yeah, look at this. Wow, technical asset here. I mean, just textbook bull pennant here. I mean, this was pretty roughly drawn as a bull pennant, but like if I just rough this out, I mean, yeah, this thing, it doesn't get much more technical than this. I mean, this is a technical coin. Not a big pattern trader, obviously, but this is nice. This thing is moving beautifully. This is what I thought trading was going to be like when I got into it. Whenever I wanted, it's hard to say. I've always been interested and traded for a long time, right? Like the first time I ever downloaded my first demo account to practice trading was when I was in my junior year of high school. I'll never forget it. It was in my criminal justice class, and it was when iPhone apps were just becoming like popular. And there was like, I saw something on the App Store that was like simulated stock trading, and I was like, oh, cool, this is interesting. Obviously, I wasn't very serious. I had no idea what I was doing. But when I did get into it, guys, this is what I originally thought it was going to be like. It was going to be as easy as being like, oh, bull pennant. Nice. I'll just buy this and it will break out. Now, obviously, we know it doesn't always work like that. Price does not move because it's in a bull pennant. Bull pennants, trading patterns are just a way to describe price action, right? Or explain price action. It's not actually moving because it's in a pennant, right? Price does not move because it's in a shape, right? Price moves because people buy and sell, liquidity, manipulation, etc. That's why... if it was as easy as just spotting bull pennants, right, it would be as easy as sitting down at your chart, looking through every single asset, trying to find a bull pennant on something, and then just finding as many bull pennants as you possibly can, and just longing all those assets and making $1 billion. It's not that easy. Some people will make it seem that easy, but it's simply not. But anyway, they are very, very good for explaining price action, though. And I do use it for more of a directional bias, right? If I were already looking for potential longs on this, and it was, maybe I'm looking at this as a range, and it's also coiling up inside of a bull pennant, I would obviously be a little bit more bullish leaning on that asset. So, but with all that being said, this thing is already broken out. Fresh green dot on the 2-day. Take a look at the daily. VWAP rolling over just a little bit. take a look at that 4 hour. You could probably look at this range. That would be legitimate in my opinion. So, yeah, you're breaking out here. I would look 4 hours, still kind of ripe here. Fresh money flow crossover into the green. These are the levels that I would be looking at, right? So if you do wind up getting a little bit of a correction, I would love for a push down into this POC 786 golden pocket retracement. So if you come back in, get stuck back into the range, I would potentially look for bounces here. I don't typically trade the middle of a range, so I wouldn't take that trade, but this is where I would look for a potential bounce if you are going to continue up. And then other than that, I mean, weekly money flow, fresh crossover into the ground. I mean, this thing's been going ballistic, right? I would watch this next weekly red dot for a potential pull to the downside. Locally, yeah, 1 hour red dot looking to print. Yeah, so I think you bing bong around. These are the local levels I would be looking at. Your value area, let me lock this. Value area high sitting at $1.14. POC sitting at $1.06. Value area low sitting at $1.01. So there you go. Nice little, man, this thing is, I guess this likes patterns, I guess. You do have somewhat of a head and shoulders there. That was your neckline, right? I'm just going to rough this out and draw it. This is so janky. But, yeah, this thing is technical, man. This thing is just pattern trading heaven right here. But anyway, that's what I'd be looking at on Super Farm. Shout out to anybody holding this thing. You are likely massively in profit. Let's see. Thanks for Frankie for the awesome TA swing, saving me from getting wrecked. Shout out to Crypto Mountain Biker. Shout out to you, bro. Let's go. I'm glad I was able to help you not get wrecked. That makes me feel very happy. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, apparently there's a lot of new Pepe coins. What was the one? Was it Trepe? Hang on. Let's take a look here. We'll know right away. Hang on. Let's find it. Hold up. Trepe. Is it? Trepe. Ah, man. Let's see. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find this one. Let's see. Yeah, what do you say? Yeah, I don't know if we're going to be able to find this one. It's always so hard to find the meme coins. I might have to look at, like, Dex Tools or something like that. XR Pepe, is this even a thing? I feel like I'm getting trolled now at this point. Is it a thing? That would be lit. No, it's not. Okay, yeah, Pepe 2. Do it, Frankie. Shout out to Creighton. Kelly said, may have to look on coin market cap. Just posted, 180K market cap. All right, we will look at this. We'll look for this very shortly. Let me see. Coin market cap. Let's see. Bada boom. Here we go. Okay. Market cap. Oh, market cap is not even listed. Interesting. Yeah, we may have to look at this tomorrow. I don't know if this is it. I do not know if this is it. But, yeah, we may have to look at this tomorrow, guys. Unfortunately. Remind me. I feel bad because Kelly super chatted for this. But, Kelly, mark my words. We will find the right chart, and I will look at this tomorrow. I will make it my mission. But if this is the chart, interesting. Yeah. Let's look at this tomorrow, because I don't want to look at the wrong chart, and then it'll be all wonked out. I don't want to give people bad information. But remember, guys, meme coins are very dangerous. You lose all your money. But it doesn't mean you can't make a lot of money with them. Shout out to COQ. We made a lot of money with that one. Shout out to Kelly. Said I was super chatting for the DGens out there. Shout out to Kelly. Shout out to JP Financial Group. Are you a financial advisor, brother? Let me know. But there you go. Let's see. Can anybody suggest a good tax attorney? I live in a very small town. Not sure if the local person can maximize any returns or losses. Shout out to Steve M. I'm sure somebody in the Mafia can. You can also check out Carlton Dennis. They have a lot of really good services over there. We've had him on the channel before. I know they're super, super, super legit. So definitely go check them out. Kelly says, financial advice is do not buy. But shout out to Kelly. But guys, with all that being said, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. I appreciate every single one of you guys for sticking around till the end of the stream, guys. Super, super exciting to see Bitcoin break that $57,000 level. Again, I didn't know it was going to happen 5 minutes after we called for it. But I don't want anyone thinking that, like, that's always going to happen. You will get wrecked like that because, right now we just looked at, some crazy targets. I do not expect those to get hit as fast as that $57,000 target. But guys, with all that being said, shout out to everybody in here. Shout out to maybe a Band-Aid in the chat. What is going on? Don't forget to go check out Crypto Billy's Twitter space at 9 p.m. Crypto Billy Goat Tales. Go check it out. John Vucci. Shout out to Creighton C. Shout out to Edward Paper's Hand. Nikki94 Boo. Fabio in the chat. What is going on? Gen XT, Gen Valerie. Shout out to Dave P. Not to be confused with Dave D. Randy Hipper. Jason Casper. Thank you for the super chat, guys. Shout out to Golden for the 50 Frankie Candles memberships gifted. You guys are the absolute best. Super exciting to see this market finally take off, guys, which probably means there's probably a correction incoming, but super exciting, guys, especially you guys who have ridden through this bear market. To see Bitcoin sitting at these prices is so exciting and so validating for all those dark days of the bear market. You made it through the hardest part, and here we go, potentially blasting off into another bull market. So with all that being said, guys, thank you all for tuning in. Smash that like button on your way out. That's all the time I got. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frank Candles YouTube channel. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong!
Tables. Praise be to the God above at the night. All I wanna do is love, I don't wanna fight. Why you coming at me telling me to get in line? I can see the pride coming up out your eyes, I'm not surprised. How can I do this? You sound like Judas, can fight in the jeweler. I see mountain trying to move her, you live for the moolah. That's kinda cooler, frying the noodles. You pray to Buddha, I bow to Yeshua, I ain't the foolish, no. I've been on the road too long, the Pro Tools broke, but folks who hope they got anxiety but cope with dope. Why you think they listen to NF? Why you think we go to service, never hear the message? Attention span gone, the Instagram one. We give the bread off for likes to get on. We build a kingdom, but where was God's son? I don't need no spot at your table, I'm here to see his will done.
Holla, 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 don't forget about the game, yeah. If it ain't about progression, better get it out my face. And show by your aggression, but we running our own race. You can't stop the blessing, film, just get up out our way. We don't need no spot at your table. My team versus your team, you can't be my stable. We don't need no spot at your table. My team versus your team, you can't be my stable.
I used to call people and they never call me back. Now they hit my phone like the minute they hear me rap. Oh no, I ain't with the nonsense. I'm a pilot, you a punches. Y'all are not my friends. Yeah, I'ma run this race at my own pace. At my table, always say grace. Holy Father up in heaven, yeah, that's how we pray. You need faith to please God. Reach out, reroute your way of thinking. What if I told you that you were dated like Pinkett? If I drove a Lincoln, would you think so different of me? Hope a Bentley and identity would never coincide. I think the enemy would try to catch with something flashy running by. Yeah, they want a piece of the pie, but I'm not willing to divide unless I give it the tithe. Y'all be acting so divine, more like hypocritically. If Jesus came up to your table, would you give him a seat? Sheesh. You act so famous. When all of that glory belong to Jesus, our Savior. Don't speak, just save it. I'll break bread for ages, cause my table consists of Jake Crumb and Fameless.
Holla, 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 don't forget about the game, yeah. If it ain't about progression, better get it out my face. And show by your aggression, but we running our own race. You can't stop the blessing, film, just get up out our way. We don't need no spot at your table. My team versus your team, you can't be my stable. We don't need no spot at your table. My team versus your team, you can't be my stable.
Oh, come on with this camera. Come on. Maybe a Band-Aid. Dude, thank you for the super chat. Shout out to you. That wasn't actually an inhaler. That's actually my new water bottle that Mrs. Candles got me because I'm taking my health seriously this year, guys, and I'm drinking much more water. Shout out to Dark Crash. It was definitely not an inhaler, maybe a Band-Aid. That's all the time I got. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bitcoin to the moon. Or maybe not. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy. On the road, here we go, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know, on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, hey. On the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, hey. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, hey. On the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, hey. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On the road, here we go.